Hey, what's up, everybody? So, Labyrinth is back for season 6 on Global, and with it, we got new Bond skin and the more regular stuff with the LR material. So, you will be wanting to complete this. Well, likely you don't really need to buy the green chests, but everything else, I recommend just completely farming it out. Like, I have a decent idea of what team I am going to be building and what I'm going for in this run. So yeah, hopefully I guess in like one run. Okay, so as you can see, I did not get this in one run. This is like my fourth run. I keep getting pretty bad units in my shops and very bad passives. Very, very bad passives. I am going to be skipping most of the fights so you don't really see the fighting, but it's reasonably easy. What I'm tending to do here is I go in for the first select now, and if I don't get a decent unit, I am gonna be resetting it. That's simple. That's simply how I'm gonna play it, because it doesn't make sense I go far with like a dead unit in hand, because the run will just die basically. So yeah, I did get Nanashi here early, so I am gonna keep this run going. What I'm going for is more an unknown focus team that does great DPS. You can go either unknown or human probably, but I like unknown more because there's some pretty decent hitters. Like if I can get Freya here, Freyr, pretty nice team to be auto farming the end phases. So that's really what I'm gonna be going for. The first run here, like the first fully playthrough, I just want to get through either one of these units and at least a good passive. So if I don't see a time, maybe floor 2, I would reset that run because it's pretty dead at that point. I need to have something good enough to make me stay. If not, I'll just reset the run. I do get a lot of mediocre like passives in this current run, but there's quite a bit still to go through, so I don't immediately reset. And we did get mono, which is very nice for like boss killing and phase clearing. And don't get it twisted, Nanashi is actually a DPS on this team because his AoE does kill the mobs very fast. Him and mono clear through these phases very easily. These guardian stones, I don't really buy them. I think I've only bought one, and it was this red one. That was it. I don't really tend to focus it, but if you are getting problems, that could be a way like you could upgrade your DPS, I guess, but not really needed. Floor 1, you can basically go through this with any old unit. Like a lot of units work for this. It's not really much of a problem, and he's not hard to kill at all. What you want to be focusing is like getting your units that you want to be keeping in line, or passives you want to be like reusing later down the line. Matrona, I think, is just a really good pick because she does remove buffs, and you gotta pick her very early. Like the first pick, that's why I picked her. She hits decently and she removes buffs. That's basically it. The reason I picked up mono was also the same. She removes buffs and she hits very hard. So the next unit I'm most likely going to be dropping is going to be the Liz or Matrona, depending on whoever I decide to pick up. Like the first floor is very easy. As I said, you can clear that with a lot of teams. Floor 2 is where it's going to be picking up, and you want to make sure and like at least have some decent passive or units you know you're going to be keeping. If not, it's just a reset at that point, because you want to have units like a good DPS unit or someone to help you come back if you're going to reset this, come back to build a better team. Yeah, you will see me like in certain situations I see like trash units, I don't even bother. I just leave it there and just continue on. Also, awakening and leveling is, you gotta pay attention to it because you can fall behind on this tower. You'll see. Like you can go a lot of ways and miss certain like levels. You can literally end this with like level 70, by the way. So you gotta pay attention to how you're leveling and super awakening. Here I decided to pick up Death Pierce. Yeah, it'll help me crit a little more consistent. So I decided, you know what, Liz is not really doing anything. Why not just drop her? Because she was just there to really like get CC. And there are times like I would take these extra fights, not because I really need it, but because it's like extra points. And like anywhere I can get like a passive, I would opt for a passive. And if it can give me like any increase in DPS, I will take that increase. I don't really go for much defense or HP at all in this. Like I don't really think it's needed. I do roll here and I see nothing, so I continue with just enough points so I can actually like check per unit. And if I don't see anything, I can like double upgrade as usual just to keep pushing like my damage and my CC up so we can survive and continue. Because Nanashi is in this team and he's a good unit you can start with, and he's a decent backline. Yusek is not really that much of a tough fight, but he can do some nonsense sometimes and just one-shot your units if you are very weak. I tended to not level as much, and these cards right here would be hitting me for half my HP at times. Like sometimes his 3 hits would kill a unit, so that's why I tend to focus my leveling and super awakening before I get to this stage, so I don't just die like immediately. I do opt for pushing Mono's ult here because I know like Matrona is probably gonna die here, because that level 3 is just like, yeah, it's over for her. So I can guarantee the kill, and if it's like I don't really have much problem, I can always res her in the following phase. A pretty easy floor 2 clear. Like Mono is just very nice because she's another buff removal unit, so the next unit that will be replaced is gonna be Matrona. More than likely, Mono is gonna be sticking around for the last boss, just because she has that buff removal. And I do end up picking up the unknown race attack by 100%. That is huge. So just like that, I already found the passive that I am gonna be using when I restart, and I do find Freyr. As back-to-back good stuff happening here, and we can literally just drop Matrona, put him in, and continue. Now all we're looking for is a Tyr or Freya, and we are chilling. And just like that, Freya appears. I am gonna keep my Nanashi, keep the Mono because she removes buffs. So the only other person is Death Pierce, so I'm gonna just drop him, put her in, and this is gonna be the team going forward basically. I still have spots where I can get units, but the likelihood of me actually pulling Tyr this run is next to nothing. normally I just spam AoEs and the AoEs kill. Like she just does it easily by herself now. But I need better passives. So once I restart, I am gonna be restarting with her with that unknown passive. I'm making my way back up again. I'm just hoping we can get something decent before we get to end boss. Also, I would like to max SA and max level before we can get to him. Unlikely because we don't really have too many more fights. And I'm not really on the side to get the levels. Because right here I was thinking maybe I push it and I can find tier still. Because there's like one last ditch effort. I was thinking, should I even go for it? Because I will be lower. I wouldn't get like anywhere close to max leveling. I will get max SA. But it would not be close enough to level and I might die. So I decided I'll just push full right, get the super awakening, get the level, and play as safe as I can. So if I restart with Freya, have a great passive, and I can just do better runs off of that. Because that's all I'm really looking for, right? It's a good startup unit that is in my main farming team, my main auto farming team, so I can just farm out everything perfectly. Yeah, and this is why I brought a buff unit, like a buff removal unit, just because, yeah, you can see he gets some insane amount of buffs. And we have some unknown and like crit stuff, so we will be hitting him very hard as well. So it's not like this team's a pushover really. Like it can still do some DPS. And I end up one phasing it, like one turning this man. So I do try continuing the fight here by fighting the bosses. See how far this team can get. I already know like the DPS is not the best. We don't have the good passive. We have one good passive, but not all of them. And I have like a dead unit in my team. So I'm going to try and see how far I can get. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you like clips of me fighting the bosses. It doesn't really make sense to show the entire fights with this because I end up getting picked off, sadly. Like Mono dies pretty early, and then goes Freyr. I end up reviving him anyways, and then I end up losing the Nashi. So it goes all downhill from here. And my DPS is just not enough to continue it. Like I can't even like one-shot most of them. Like there's a few I can one-shot, but I can't one-shot all of them. And then when I faced Melly, he just obliterated my Freyr. Like I thought we had the kill here. I literally thought, okay, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be her against the boss maybe, or one other unit. And nope, this man actually has a freaking revive. And I end up dying. I could have restarted it, but it didn't really make sense to me. I just want to see how far the team could have went. It went like almost to the ending, but not quite. And I don't want to really struggle every time I want to actually have this on an auto farming team. So I am gonna reset this with Freya and that good unknown passive and run it through to see if I can get anything better and start actually like getting a team put together so I can start like farming out all those boxes because I actually do want them. Like this is how I normally do my first clear. I try my best to actually have someone that I can restart with a decent passive, so there's no real drawback and you're already like ahead of the curve by having one great passive in hand and the great unit that's already gonna like kill every single phase by herself. When I get my farming team, I will show it I'm pretty sure it's gonna be very easy to get it done because I have Freya. So yeah, that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Peace.